All right. So thank you so much for joining me today, Kevin. Really looking forward to this. So let's just get right into it. So obviously, we're here to talk about soccer, and you're a very passionate soccer fan, and I'm a really passionate soccer fan as well. But there's not many of us in Canada, despite the fact that it's the most popular sport in the country playing wise. Why do you think that Canadians really don't typically watch a lot of soccer or know a lot about soccer, despite the fact that it is the most popular sport in terms of youth participation?
I think that's starting to change. I mean, like you said, with the youth participation, but I think part of it is just the way you grow up, right? Like, I grew up an Oilers fan. Here in Edmonton, it was easy to see it. But when it comes to soccer, for the longest time, it was really difficult to get any kind of access. When I was a kid, it was Soccer Saturday with Graham Leggett on TSN. That's how I was really able to get a lot of introduction into like Serie A and English Premier League. But nowadays, it's starting to change, whether it's MLS, the Canadian Premier League. And then obviously we have so much ability to watch like European leagues, South American leagues. So that is starting to change, but it's just when you don't grow up with it, when you don't have someone to kind of give you a team to cheer for and a reason to cheer for, that becomes difficult. And let's also face it, the Canadian national team for the longest time was very much a difficult team to really get behind. And, it was very much a struggle. Only qualified for the World Cup once in 1986. But things are changing now thanks to guys like Alphonso Davies. And, of course, the women's program as well. That's been a huge change since 2001, that U19 tournament in Edmonton. That really changed the projection of that program.
Yeah, I know that that team has been one of my favorite teams for a while. And I mean, hockey was always my favorite sport growing up, but that's always been like Christine Sinclair has always been one of my, along with Haley Wickenheiser, kind of those types of players have always been one of my like sporting icons, because I think what she's done is incredible, and how she's grown soccer in Canada, especially for young girls, is absolutely unbelievable. Like Haley Wickenheiser obviously did a lot too, but hockey is already popular. Whereas Christine Sinclair, I think she had to do a lot more to kind of get soccer popular. But
and I also think too, like with Christine Sinclair, this is going to sound weird saying it, but I really do think in some ways she's underrated, in the sense of, I don't think people of Canada truly realize the impact she's had on the sport. I mean, she is the leading scorer of all time in women's soccer. I think that's incredible.
And men's too.
Right? It's fantastic.
No, I agree. Like, I mean, obviously Marta is also incredible in her own right.
Yeah.
And Brazilians will always defend Marta till the cows come home. And she is an incredible player. And maybe she is better. You also have like Abby Wambach, but yeah, I think in terms of also in the international scene, she doesn't get a lot of love, I think, because she is Canadian. We never see people outside of Canada really talk about her. And I think it is kind of a shame, because she is such an incredible player.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
We're seeing a lot of Canadian players play over in Europe, like the men's and the women's now. Like Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies, and then a lot of the women are playing in Europe and doing really well, like Ashley Lawrence, Kadisha Buchanan, Jessie Fleming, what have you. Do you think that's an indictment on Canada soccer, that they're unable to keep their own players in Canada and develop them? Or do you think that it's a good thing that they're playing against the world's best talent overseas?
If we had an established league like the Premier League, or La Liga, it's a different story. But we don't. MLS has only been around since 1994-95. That's been primarily an American league for the longest time. We only have the 3 Canadian teams. Canadian Premier League's only a year into it. So no, it is a fantastic thing that Canadian players are being recognized for their talent and going overseas. The fact that Alphonso Davies was signed by Bayern Munich, and not only was he signed just to ride the bench or whatever, like he's making an impact and he has won so many trophies. That just goes to show you that Canada has arrived on the international stage, and we no longer have to think back to just 1986 for the last time that the Canadian men's team qualified for the World Cup. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Fingers crossed it's going to happen here in 2022. And for the women, I mean, quite frankly, at least Europe is putting in an effort for women's leagues. So wherever they can play and get that experience, go ahead and do it.
And to end it off here, obviously their whole career has been Ronaldo versus Messi, right? Who's better? Now I know you have your views. I have my views. I'm Team Ronaldo personally myself. Why do you think Ronaldo is better than Messi?
They are such different players, and it's such an unfair comparison to make. It's a fun comparison. It's a fun debate to make. I always say Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have been able to watch both of them play live over the years. I've seen Messi play in a Champions League game against my favorite club team, Sporting. And with Ronaldo, I've seen them play in a couple of exhibition games against Brazil and Northern Ireland. And it's spectacular to watch them play. It's so much fun. You can see just how they're light years ahead of anyone else. Messi is incredible, especially for a player of his size. He's just, it's magical watching him play. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a difference maker, and he can his free kicks are stunning. And just his ability to just jump up, soar to literal heights with those headers and that incredible bicycle kick a few years ago in the Champions League. Those are unforgettable moments. At the end of the day, though, Cristiano Ronaldo has won 2 trophies with his national team. He's won a number of Champions League titles, a number of domestic titles. If you're going strictly by the resume and the trophies on his mantle, you got to give the nod to Cristiano Ronaldo. But at the end of the day, we are just so lucky to have 2 incredible players like Messi and Ronaldo, and to be able to watch them progress over the years. It's pretty fantastic. It's Crosby and Ovechkin.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Crosby and Ovechkin, right? Right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. It's really fun talking to you about all this stuff. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity. Like I said, I challenge Darren and Roddy to pick a team and get solidly behind them for Euro, because it's going to be a fun tournament. It gives them something to do in June, because there's going to be no CFL.
No.
So it gives them something to really watch and get behind.
Well, Darren's actually becoming a soccer fan now.
Oh, that makes my heart happy.
Unfortunately, though, he's decided that he likes Manchester City.
All right.
Rod's getting into it too, but Darren's becoming a soccer fan now.
Well, to be fair, Manchester City does share the same colors as the Tennessee Titans, so I can see why Darren wanted to go down that route.
Oh, there you go.
But,
there you go.
So awesome. This has been a pleasure. Thanks for doing this.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Now, here's a little secret with what I do at the Rod Peterson Show, and I've made a career of it. I don't care whether you like me or you don't like me, but when you watch my show, I just want you to feel something.
How about that?
Whether you're happy or you're sad or you're angry or you're proud, I just want you to feel something. Because a lot of times you'll read a column or watch a show and say, that's never been the hallmark of what I do. I want to make you think, I want to make you feel something, and it's worked. And if you don't agree with me, I'll be fine.
This is the Rod Peterson Show.
Good morning, everybody. How you now? Great. Getting you? I'm not so bad. Welcome to the RP Show. Can everybody go off their phones in the building, please? The Wi-Fi is a little slow. Apparently that helps.
It's a problem for an internet show.
Maybe. Wait a minute. Never mind. I'll go off my phone. How about that? It is episode number 496 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. We are emanating from the bunker out here in beautiful, sunny Western Canada. RP with you. DD over there. The crew is on the other side of the wall here. And exciting, some really awesome guests today. It is Satellite Radio Day today on the RP Show. We got our guy Scott Laughlin joining us from NHL Radio out of Toronto, and Zig Fracassi from Sirius XM NFL Radio going to join us from the Big Apple. And he's not just going to want to talk NFL. Trust me, he's a huge Boston Bruins fan. So Ziggy will be joining us in hour 2, Scott Laughlin in hour 1. And let's go to the quick 6 show topics, please, if you don't mind. Director Jordan. Quick 6 show topics. Let me see what I have here. Leafs.
Of course.
So let's start there, and we'll come around to, we got some football, we got some tennis, we got some Blue Jays baseball. But number one, the Toronto Maple Leafs are out. They're golfing. You'd think we'd be used to this, but last night in Game 7, the Toronto Maple Leafs lost 3-1 to the Montreal Canadiens. I feel like you all know that. You watched the game last night. Game 7. I felt like it was coming. I think I said on the show yesterday that I felt like Montreal was going to win, whether it was momentum or the Leafs' woeful experience in Game 7 or track record. But you know, why am I even talking? You're the Leafs fan. Clark's the Leafs fan. The poor kid has not cracked a smile since he walked in here this morning. Have you noticed?
I know.
He is in more. You two were sitting there in your office. I felt like I'm watching a CSI episode. You guys are dissecting a body here. The Leafs. I'm like, it's not even cold yet, for God's sakes. What'd you think?
That's when the most live evidence is still on it, right? When it's fresh.
The DNA
is still kind of alive, right?
Yeah.
You had your tweet kind of summed it up halfway through the game. Do you remember what it was word for word?
Do the Leafs even want to watch? Do the Leafs even want this game?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And that's literally what it came down to. And unfortunately, the team's just not ready to win. I mean, we were talking about this because it comes down now. Is this on Dubas? Is this on Shanahan? Who is this on? I don't think it's on either of those guys. I don't think this is on Kyle Dubas. I think you talk about the 5-year plan and the Shana plan and all that. I think this is exactly where you want the plan to be. You got the best team in Canada. You've got a top 5 team in the NHL. That didn't change by losing a 7-game series to Montreal. You just don't know how to win. Your team can't win. You don't have that ability to win. What are you going to, like, you can't upgrade from Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews, really. I mean, that's like saying to Edmonton, we're going to upgrade from Connor McDavid. You've got some of the best players in the world. But at the end of the day, you know, and I tweeted this, if you believe in something, there is no expiration date on patience. So if you believe in that core of those guys and you've got good players, then you got to keep being patient. The core has to figure out to come together and win as a group. But you can't just keep thinking that you can buy your way to winning, because there is no amount of skill and no amount of money that gets you off the hook from dealing with adversity, right? And this group just doesn't know how to do that yet. And when they do, they'll win. And that's the same for any team and any organization that's got a boatload of talent but can't win. And that's where this group's at. I would keep the core. I'd come back again and look at them all right now and say, nobody's coming to save you. We're not signing another Tavares or bringing another money guy in, because that's not working. You guys have to win.
Would you do me a favor and just slide to the left or the right and show that logo on your shirt? Would you mind? He's switched allegiances to the Brandon Wheat Kings.
How about that?
Just going to point that out there for all our Manitoba viewers today. Jen is watching. Where did the comment go? Jen down at the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Good morning, crew. Sad Leaf fan down here at the Palace. You know who that is? That's the Greek freak. George Yanitsos down at the Four. I've not heard from George. I'm glad to hear that he's alive. He is the biggest Leaf fan that I know, and I know a lot of Leaf fans. The Four Seasons brings you the second half kickoff. This is the warm-up brought to you by Ecol Electric. Brand new sponsors here. Ecol Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw. Ecol Electric, let's get to work. Troy in Toronto writes in and says, misery loves company. I'm with you, Dupes. And Clark, he says, I'm a little bummed today, Rod, but looking to be more bummed listening to all the Leafs misery that's likely to continue during your show. Listen, we try to keep it positive around here. Before any of you all showed up this morning, technical producer Ryan and I talked about that. This show's an escape for 2 hours from misery, but don't blame me that the Leafs have no heart. So we're going to talk about it. And isn't my commentary today on Cat Country and Rock 98 is, who was the character in The Wizard of Oz that didn't have a heart? Was it the lion? Was it the Tin Man?
Tin Man.
It was a Tin Man? Leafs should sign him.
The lion had no courage.
Leafs should sign him.
They need to sign him.
Fit right in. I'm sorry they don't have any heart, man. Don't get mad at me. You watch the game. You're saying you believe in the core, and that's good. That's your team. And the other thing was I tweeted a GIF of Mike Babcock laughing uproariously. It's been a very popular tweet. And you're saying it might have been in poor taste. Is that the sense I'm getting off?
Well, I should slap you on the wrist here a little bit because that's post-game trash talk, right? And I said, I'm like, that's what I hate post-game trash talk. I mean, that's trolling. I thought it was funny though because you pick your spots. That's not your brand isn't to
rub it in people's faces
and rub it in people's face. But that's not, that makes everybody look bad when you rub it in people's face. But hey, I thought it was funny.
Mike Babcock, he's not a great friend. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Can I not tweet Mike Babcock laughing when the Leafs choke? Come on. It's very obvious to me. Point 2, Ryan Reeves gets 2 games for what he did in Game 1. Vegas Golden Knights pugilist. I wouldn't want to have been Graves on the ice with your chin strap. And you got Ryan Reeves. Like, let's be honest. But it's a speeding ticket. Worth it? We move on. Guy tweeted me today. I appreciate that. The Flower is one of 3 finalists for the Vezina. He joins Lightning's Andrei Vasilevsky, Avalanche's Philip Grubauer for the Vezina Trophy. So I brought up the Flower as a Vezina candidate like a month ago, and people laughed at me. It's Vasilevsky's trophy. Maybe it is. Somebody said this is his first nomination ever for the Vezina. I have a tough time believing that.
Right.
But maybe it is. I don't know. We'll take the Stanley Cup. And that series, by the way, is so far not over. But speaking of, point 3 of the Quick Six is Lightning Canes tonight. So you can take I guess if there's some Lightning fans or Canes fans around here, they'll be watching the game tonight. But it's not as super as intense as what my Knights have been, right?
That's
Leafs,
right.
Habs, Golden Knights. So that's exciting. Whether they were playing Minnesota, now they're playing Colorado. So that's one game tonight, Leafs, Canes. Point 3, the Blue Jays play their first game at Buffalo tonight. They got the Marlins in there. I'm not going to go down the road yet of the Blue Jays, the angst from the fans. I can't believe how mad people are at Charlie Montoyo. I can't believe how mad they are for leaving the kid in the second game of the doubleheader on years.
I know.
Vein-popping mad at Charlie Montoyo for not pulling him and costing them the game.
What do you do? He walked the bases loaded, then walked in the runs 4 in a row. At some point, yeah, okay, you could have pulled him, but you have to think, okay, he's walked 1. He's surely not going to walk. He's walked 2. Surely he's not going to walk 3 in a row. Okay, he walked 3 in a row. He's not walked. Nobody's walking and then he does. You want to give your guys the benefit of the doubt. That, you know what? It's a loss. I get it. We hate that. But that loss, call that an investment into your locker room, right?
Believing in your guy.
Believing in your guys. I think they'll take the loss. I think it's worth it from a culture and we're believing in our guys kind of way. And even if you fail, I still have your back in the media.
I saw the comment here from one of our viewers in Florida, the Sizzler. Here it is from the Hockey Club in Tallahassee, Florida. It's the Hockey Club podcast, by the way. They're on the Belly Up Network. Did Moose attend the mental health conference? Excellent take. Thanks, Moose. I'm going to be okay, even though you look like you're riding a chicken today. Great thoughts. That's so old. That's Corey Patterson, by the way. Hockey pro and former Regina
She's saying I got to do some squats.
From the Queen City here. The kid's buffed. So Leafs fans are throwing anything a Leaf fan said last night or today, you should just disregard.
Completely.
Right? Because they're in a state of shock.
Yeah.
Point 5. One thing that I wrote down, the Saskatchewan government won't commit to crowd size. And there's a lot of people watching here on Game Plus TV across this province, across the country. Scott Moe, the premier of this province, made that statement yesterday, won't commit to crowd size for Rough Rider games. Scott Moe's my dude. I'm a Sask party guy. Don't at me. People say, Rod, you can't have political affiliation. Yes, I can. Because I like him. Right? He's my dude. And I'm not going to hold Scott to this because a couple of weeks ago, Scott Moe said by the end of summer, we're going to fill that stadium. And from what I've heard from the government people with Scott, kind of got caught up in the moment and went with a wave. You know what I mean? And now he's going, well, no. So I'm not holding leaders to what they say. Politicians, health officials, sports owners. I'm just out. And a lot of people, and I can see why, have taken it to believe that I'm anti-CFL return to play or anti this. No, it's too much. Every day it's something different. How many times do I have to say, I'm just out? And the agonizing thing is my phone going off all day from CFL people that are just literally hand-wringing. Like they're beside. It's been 15 months of this. And you guys are just waiting on the vaccination rollout. What I'm upset about is you had over a year to figure out how to play. And we're still sitting here on a prayer. Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca. That's it. The CFL's fate hangs on that. So that's one of my points, but I'm just saying, don't blame Scott Moe. And point 6, so did they announce it? It's official. Breaking news. It's the Edmonton Elks. Elk, not elk, Elks. Look at that. How about that? Who's Chris Creamer? He's verified. He's a sports logo guy? Okay, thanks. So there it is, folks. That is the Edmonton football team. I apologize to our listeners that can't see it. It's no longer the Edmonton football team. It's the Edmonton Elks. We told you a while back they'd make the announcement today, and they are. And that's the logo. I kind of don't mind it. I don't like the S on the end.
I don't either.
I like the Jazz, the Heat, the Wave, the Sox. Why got to go Elks?
And when is Elks? I thought Elks wasn't grammatically correct, right? That's what's going to happen, right? You're going to
neither's Leafs because it's leaves.
Leaves. Yeah. Okay. So there's a comparison there, but it's like people are going to say it's not a herd of elks, a bunch of elks coming running out, but whatever. The logo's hot. And I think that's going to play really, really well. It'll be interesting to see if they keep the double E, and use that. But I like it. The logo's really great. Really nice job. I think it's a very concise, clean brand, easy to replicate, looks awesome, simple, yet does what it needs to do. I'm with you on the S on the end, though. That sounds weird. It feels weird. And I feel like people aren't even going to say it. But, I wonder if that comes down to like that guy or girl who snapped up all the usernames, Edmonton Elk, and they're like, well, guess we got to be Elks, so we can get all the usernames.
Jim Mullen, our good friend from Football Canada, writes in. He says, Elks, I am the happiest human on this planet for 1 second. You got a fan in Jim Mullen, the guy that sent us this Football Canada lid, which we display so proudly every day. It's the Edmonton Elks, people. Write it down. It's a red letter day. The Edmonton Elks. I would have done whatever it took. To get that elk name. I don't care. I told you the story about how I had to pay the guy in Vegas that owned the Twitter feed at Rod Peterson. I paid the dude. I flew to Las Vegas. He's a chef in Las Vegas. And he had at Rod Peterson on Twitter. I said, buddy, what's it going to take to get that off you? And he went by the name Rocky. That wasn't even his name to even go by Rod. It's a hell of a story, by the way. I had some Greek muscle with me in case the meeting went sideways.
I know exactly who the Greek muscle is, too.
And he looked. Would you want to mess with that guy?
No, I would not.
Oh, that's a story for another time. How Rod purchased the Twitter handle at Rod Peterson at a back alley meeting in Vegas.
That'll be in the book.
How about that?
But I got it. Cash was involved, obviously. And after I paid him, he went straight to the machines and put it on went to the tables and put it on one blackjack hand. I'm like, and he lost. That's all it meant to you.
Exactly.
Where was I? I would have done whatever it took to get the Elk, but have the Shellbrook Elks been consulted about this? The senior men's hockey team for which Scott Moe played. From Joe Lazito in New York, he says, good morning, boys. They could be the Edmonton Eggs if it means I'll get to watch them lose to the Riders this season. It's on. The trash talk is on.
Oh, yeah. The Elks Club is interesting, right? The connection with the Elks Club. Maybe they'll have like a VIP. It'll be called the Elks Club up there. It's a natural fit.
Once an elk, always an elk. Sounds weird.
I know.
From Blake Brown on YouTube, call me when you're ready to kick off. I'll be back.
It'll be on the wall. Once an elk, always an elk, right? But it'll be elk with the sticker, and then there'll be the outline of the old stick. Eskimos, on the wall.
Eskimos, from Tacona Powley on YouTube, watching in Winnipeg. Rod, I hear ya and feel your pain. No need to talk CFL till they actually report for camp. Well, we're talking about it today in terms of it's now the Edmonton Elks, so that's good. That's one thing that we had to get out of the way, and it's now out of the way. But we'll be talking about NHL when we come back with Scott Laughlin from Sirius XM NHL Radio. This has been the warm-up, proudly presented by Ecole Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw. Ecole Electric, let's get to work. We are at work, and you're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash. Your car deserves it at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept admission. This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad. Now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show. Official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Peterson Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome back, everybody. Big day, if you haven't heard. It's official. It's the Edmonton Elks. It really is Eskimos no more. The Jets fan watching in Winnipeg says, I find the name unimpressive. Today's not the day for that, I don't think. Let's be happy for them, okay? I like the gear. Check their Instagram story, Edmonton Elks. They're splitting hairs on the name. Should it be Elks or Elk? Personally, I don't like the S, but whatever. Sorry, my earpiece is full.
You okay?
I'm trapped. I'm strangling myself. All right. Oh, boy. Let's go to the epicenter now. Toronto. Scott Laughlin joins us from Sirius XM NHL Radio to unpack. What the heck? I heard they were in lockdown in Toronto, man. What is with... Were you waiting, Scott, until the Leafs won a Stanley Cup to cut your hair? Or what the hell?
Well, I would just offer this up, Rod, to start off. I mean, I'm as much of a stranger to the barber, obviously, as the Toronto Maple Leafs are to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yeah, I had something scheduled. About 2 months ago, and all of a sudden,
whoops!
As I dropped my phone.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
All of a sudden, as I dropped my phone, I could tell that we went back into lockdown mode, and as such, I'm kind of at where I'm at right now, and I'm just waiting for the go-ahead to finally get rid of this.
Scott, how was your show this morning?
Well, there was plenty of dissection of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Rod, and what went wrong. I tend to look at it the other way. And again, I'm not exactly Toronto-centric when it comes to waving the blue and white pom-poms. I was up until 1992 when I started working in this business. And all of a sudden I found out that the guys on the opposing teams, the Jeremy Roenick's, the Chris Chelioses, the Mike Modanos, were actually pretty good guys. So I quickly grew out of that Toronto-centric, let's, cheer for the home team, the Toronto Maple Leafs type of a mentality. So I look back on last night. And while it was a missed opportunity for the blue and white, obviously, I look at Montreal. I think they fully earned their way into the Norris Division Final, being down 3-1. I thought that last night, Rod, they played their game to a T. They played that ultimate road game. They got the lead. There were always multiple guys behind the puck in their defensive zone. I think I counted, Rod, one time all night where they actually got caught up ice. Ben Sherratt got caught up. Only one odd man rush against. Last night, it turns out it was Austin Matthews being stopped by Carey Price, which was a predominant theme, of course, in this theory as we try to figure out what went wrong for Toronto and what went right for the Montreal Canadiens. I think the Canadiens just executed their game plan to a T. And I think if you accentuate the positives and look what they did by way of comparison to what Toronto didn't do, I think Montreal actually deserves to win the day.
Oh, no doubt, especially in their play in the last 3 games. But I watched the game. I tweeted, do the Leafs even want this game? Scott, will you agree with me that they looked almost disinterested to a point? Mental mistakes? They weren't battling? That is very concerning to me, and I'm not even a Leaf fan. Like, I can't imagine how... Did you see that?
I did. I saw it even. I saw it even more, I think, Rod, going back to Game 5 and again in Game 6, where you start to hear players talk about, hey, we didn't get a great start. We weren't ready to start the game. Well, how can you not be ready to start the game when you get to the Stanley Cup playoffs and you get to Game 5 and you get to Game 6 and you say, well, in Game 5, we've got a little bit of wiggle room. Game 6, sure, they've got their fans, but we still have some wiggle room. All of a sudden, you're in a Game 7 situation and you have to ramp it up against the team that has got Carey Price back on the beam again. And again, is playing that prototypical road style of hockey, which is going to serve you well at this time of the year. I think my greatest concern was earlier in the series when the Leafs had a chance to close the Canadiens out. They let them up off the mat again. And again, when you go to a game situation where it's one game winner take all, and you've got Carey Price at one end of the rink, then obviously you like Montreal's chances. So I think they're going to be in good, Montreal is against the Winnipeg Jets. I think that they feel like they're playing their best hockey now. They're starting to turn the corner after kind of limping into the playoffs. And I think they're starting to see some signs, not only from the young kids, but even from some veterans like Philip Deneau and Eric Stahl and guys like that have started to bring it with their responsibilities. And I think the Canadiens now are going to be a very dangerous out for the Jets.
Okay, Scott, listen. Go ahead, Clark. Go. Stuff's going on here. We're very big in Winnipeg, Scott. And I say that because they're all awake this morning. And they're writing about you. Tom says, Scott wore a Roddy Piper t-shirt on this show before. He's got the Hulk Hogan hair going. Brother! So they're dialed in. Somebody, here from Alex Nuttall on YouTube. Winnipeg has advanced more in the Stanley Cup playoffs since 2012 than the Leafs have done since 2003. It's Jets. So why fight it? Let's just go Jets. So you said a good matchup between Montreal and Winnipeg you thought would favor Montreal. I haven't even thought about the series yet, and I don't know how much you've thought about that. You were probably unpacking last night's game more. But have you sensed how rabid they are in Winnipeg right now? I love it, by the way, for their sake, of course.
Oh, absolutely, Rod. I think the interesting storyline here is, too, whereas we look forward to tomorrow night and game number 1, you've got Montreal coming off an emotional 7th game victory over Toronto. On Friday night, you had Vegas coming off an emotional 7th game victory over Minnesota. Vegas rolls right back into it less than 48 hours later, and they get steamrolled by Colorado. So I'm really intrigued to see, Rod, just exactly what game 1 is going to entail because, again, you've got the well-rested Winnipeg Jets coming off their unexpected sweep of the Edmonton Oilers. They're going to be playing the role of the Avalanche tomorrow night. Montreal is playing the role, certainly, of Vegas and what they had to deal with a couple of nights earlier. So I think it'll be, interesting to see if Montreal has a bit of a hangover going to game 1 in this new series, still on that high of coming off the victory in Toronto last night. And by way of comparison, I think it'll be interesting to see if the Jets can do what Colorado did. Not saying the Jets are Colorado, because Colorado right now is a juggernaut, that's for sure. It's going to really take something to unseat those guys in terms of being the Stanley Cup favorite, perhaps. But I'm just wondering, with that time off, if Winnipeg is going to be well served by getting into game 1 here against an emotionally drained possible team in Montreal. I think tomorrow night will start to tell the tale, and I think it's almost incumbent on the Winnipeg Jets holding serve tomorrow night on home ice.
Well, I love it, by the way, and I'm just going to sprinkle in their comments here from Brady. Jets in 6. From David Smith, the Jets fan. Scott, the Jets are playing much better than the Leafs were. From Dylan on Facebook, do I have to fight for the Jets on this show again? Rod and Darren. No, you don't, Dylan. You don't. From David, PLD. I think they've started the Whiteout parade, Scott. I think they're rolling already in Winnipeg.
Yeah, you talk about the Whiteout, Rod. This is a question I've always had, okay? Now, the Whiteout made sense decades ago when the Jets were on home ice wearing white, right? The home sweaters are no longer white. Does the Whiteout make sense in this day and age? And I hearken back a couple of years ago. The Raptors were playing the Nets in the playoffs, and everybody at the then Air Canada Centre, Rod, was decked out in red. They thought they were supporting the home team. As it turned out that one particular afternoon, the Nets were the team that were wearing red. So everybody in the stands, are you supporting the red team or are you supporting the home team? If you're the Jets and it's the Whiteout, are you supporting the white team, which is actually the road team now? or are you supporting the Winnipeg Jets? Has the whiteout kind of run its course? Should we kind of flip the script here a little bit based upon history and tradition? Yes, but the fact that the home team sweaters are now darks.
I know. I think we've all thought it, but Winnipeg's saying it's our thing, right? And they can't even get in the building anyway. So as
that's true.
Brady has written in here, Brady Leovold, hockey pro from the Puck Support Podcast Network, good friend of mine. You guys may have touched on this, but will Winnipeg have fans at all? I feel like I've moved to Winnipeg because it's all the people I'm talking to are from Winnipeg. They say they're sneaking around to have face-to-face meetings in the park because that's what the lockdown measures are in Winnipeg right now. It's like where we all were a year ago. Here, I can't see them. I just can't see them having fans in that building for this series. Unless you know something, Scott, have you heard anything?
Well, I think if there's going to be a chance, it'll be now for them to step up and do this. And, I haven't seen in recent days the numbers in Manitoba. I know they've been going through a tough time. Happy to say in Ontario, I think we've started to turn the corner. I think we had 699 cases today, which is the lowest it's been since probably early February. So we're starting to come around. We saw Montreal was coming around to the point where they allowed 2,500 fans into the Bell Center for Game 6 recently. So I think that quietly, there's probably going to be something going on behind the scenes. The politicians will ultimately decide in consultation with the medical doctors out there as to what will be the case. I'd have to think if you're Montreal, for Game 6, you had 2,500 fans. You'd have at least 2,500 fans coming up for Games 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken, going back-to-back on Sunday and Monday. So I would think at least 2,500 fans at the Bell Center. The further we get here, the further teams can advance, I think, north of the border. I think the greater chance that there is that there could be more and more fans in the building. So for Winnipeg, I think it's a possibility. I certainly couldn't say for sure, but I think quietly we've started to come around here north of the 49th, hopefully, to see better days.
Oh, I'm getting tingles here. Our buddy Don Mitchell, he's a Navy guy watching in the Middle East. He says, semantics. The whiteout is tradition. So I get that. From Joe in New York, he says, I hope they never get rid of the whiteout. It looks great on TV. Must look amazing in person. I feel like all of Winnipeg's watching right now. And Paulo, keep it whiteout. Think of it as the Winnipeg Blizzard whiteout theme. They're just going, man. They're just going. But let's pause the cause for a second and talk about Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, they got routed 7-1 in Colorado the other night. That's my team, Scott. And people are saying, you can't stop McKinnon. Winnipeg stopped McDavid. It was one game. People are saying this series is over. What's your take?
Not over yet. I think Marc-Andre Fleury coming up tomorrow night in game number 2 is going to have to be like the Marc-Andre Fleury we saw in the first 3 or 4 games of that series against Minnesota, where he was lights out good. So I think they'll get a boost from their goaltender, who's up for the Vezina Trophy, as we found out earlier today. Congratulations to him on a fantastic season at the age of 36, still proving he's got a lot left to give, I think. I think the loss of Reeves, believe it or not, is going to hurt that team. Speaking of Winnipeg, of course, you, Rod, being a CFL aficionado for so many years, would remember Willard Reeves as a great running back with the Blue Bombers and had a cup of coffee with Washington in the NFL. Ryan Reeves is a loss for that team. When he's walking the straight and narrow, big-bodied guy who can skate, who can hit. We're not going to say fight because nobody really does that during the playoffs. I think that one advantage that Vegas has always had on their opposition is the fact that their bottom 6 is so big and strong and fast. They can get in and punish the defensemen. I think when you talk about the strength of the Avalanche, sure, we talk about arguably the best line in all of hockey led by Nathan McKinnon, but I also think that we look at that blue line core, and whether it's Sammy Girard or Cale Makar, Connor Timmins has started to emerge back there. Graves has a certain role that he plays as well, as we know. I think that's a real strength of the Avalanche. In order to get the better of the Avalanche, I think, in a series, you need to get in and bang bodies. And you need to forecheck those guys and perhaps wear them down as the series goes along. I think losing Reeves is going to hurt Vegas in that extent. I think that Vegas is the type of team, too, that maybe we sell short. Maybe we say, well, they're big, strong, and physical, yeah, but they won't be able to keep up to the Avalanche. I mean, Nathan McKinnon is maybe only second behind Connor McDavid in terms of the fastest guys I've ever seen put on a pair of skates, Rod. So Vegas is still a good skating team. Colorado's great, but I think Vegas can still skate with them. That being said, I mean, when that top line's going like they were, and maybe you're thinking, hey, maybe we'll jump in game one and steal one because they've been off for a week. Maybe they'll show some signs of rust. The Avalanche brought forth anything but that. So this is going to be a tough out. I think a lot of people picked the Avs to win the Stanley Cup before the playoffs began. I know that I did. I certainly have seen nothing so far to dissuade me from the fact that Colorado is indeed the team to beat. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win, because as we know, it's not played on paper. Things can change in a heartbeat. Just ask the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, yeah. Well, Scott, we'll let you go. I'm loving the visit. Dylan Spicer chimes in, says, got here late, but hello all from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. David in Winnipeg says, we have nothing to watch until Winnipeg Sports Talk, so you have us now. Hey, we're happy to have you. Hustler's doing great on there. You must have a Hustler on NHL. Well, I know you have on NHL Radio. You know all those guys. They're doing great with Winnipeg Sports Talk. Well, Scott, I love listening to you so much. I've told you that before. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs, and hopefully we can do it again soon, sir.
Yeah, next time I come on, Rod, I'll make sure that the phone does not drop on the floor. And by all means, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have my haircut by the time we get back together again.
Never thought about it again. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you.
Anytime, guys. Thank you.
Scott Laughlin from Sirius XM NHL Radio. And interestingly enough, in hour 2, Zig Fracassi from Sirius XM NFL Radio. When we come back, sports update. I'll get to all your questions. Puck Support Network wants to talk about Robin Lehner. Was it his fault, game 1? Obviously, I got thoughts on that. Guys want us to do some NHL sim broadcasts. I'll see where Moose is on that and the boys. Or maybe XFL, CFL. So, yeah. And breaking news in the CFL today. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding area since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003. There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're going to jump into the breaking news in the CFL in a moment, but how about this? The closed captioner guy from Game Plus is watching.
All right.
And he's trolling me. He has written us on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, hey, Rod, Game Plus closed captioner here. If the Vegas is Canada's team, why can't they win? Stop it. He's in Toronto where they got a 54-year Stanley Cup drought, and he's going to troll me about calling the Vegas Golden Knights Canada's team. I bet you the Knights have more Canadians than the Leafs. Let's look it up.
Check the
Can we go to the big board? I'm sorry. Closed captioner Game Plus is clearly a Leaf fan, and what did I say earlier? Don't take anything that any Toronto fan says. Don't even block it out for a 24-hour period because they're going to say hurtful things. What?
Clark said it, and I was actually thinking it too. I thought, yeah, if he's going to troll you, I thought you would just start spouting off all the most complicated, hard to spell NHL names.
I got it.
Right?
Yeah. I've got xenophobia. That should keep you busy for a while. From Ray in the 6. Hey, Rod, damn, the Leafs let me down again. Go Jays, go Argos, go Rock. Gotta love sports. What was that old joke about when I die, I want 6 Leafs to be my pallbearer?
Let me down one more time?
Yeah, one last time.
Yeah.
The Edmonton CFL franchise has changed its name to Elks. That's the breaking news today. The club made the announcement via live stream this morning. Edmonton dropped its longtime name, Eskimos, last year following a similar decision by the NFL's Washington team amid pressure on franchises to eliminate racist or stereotypical names. It had been called the Edmonton football team up until today's announcement, but its logo continues to feature 2 E's. Elks was one of 7 potential name changes the Edmonton football team provided on its short list. The others included Evergreens, Evergolds, Eclipse, Elk, Hounds, Eagles, and Elements. Still, I would have preferred Empire. Man, that would have been awesome.
Would have been cool.
But they didn't ask me. We talked enough about the Leafs blowing Game 7. So there was another game last night. Somebody texted me, Kelly Mars, you know him. He goes, 2 great games tonight. I said, I only needed 1.
The other one was pretty good, too.
I guess. Casey Cizikas scored on a breakaway in overtime, leading the New York Islanders to a 4-3 victory over the Boston Bruins in Game 2 of their second-round series, which is now knotted 1-1. The Western Hockey League has announced the East Division and Central Division All-Star teams for the 2021 season as voted on by the general managers. In the East, goaltender of the Saskatoon Blades, Nolan Meyer. Defenseman, Riker Evans from God's team, the Regina Pats. And Braden Schneider, the Brandon Wheat Kings, the team of which you are wearing their golf shirt.
That's right.
At forward spots, Connor Bedard. You know him.
Oh, yeah.
From the Winnipeg Ice, Peyton Krebs. And from the Brandon Wheat Kings, Ben McCartney. He just signed with the Arizona Coyotes, by the way, on the weekend. I don't know if you saw that or not. Central Division All-Star team, Edmonton goalie Sebastian Cossa. The defensemen are Medicine Hat's Cole Clayton and Edmonton's Matthew Robertson. And the forwards are from Edmonton, Dylan Genther, Jake Neighbors, and from the Medicine Hat Tigers, Brett Kemp. I'm going to probably stop it there. Other than North Battleford's Andrew Albers, former big leaguer, pitcher and 2 relievers combined to no-hit Colombia, and Canada opened up its Baseball America's Olympic qualifier tournament in Florida with a 7-0 victory yesterday. This sports update is for the Tap Brew House and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Can we go to a break now? Let's do that and come back with a bigger viewer takeover because it's spicy today.
How about that?
You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. Like, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself. I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, it was the most important thing in my life.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Peterson.
And the Moose is here. Are you having a great day?
I couldn't be better.
No, me either.
Life is good.
It's awesome. This is what we call viewer takeover. So we'd like to hear from all of you. Coming up in hour 2, Zig Fracassi from Sirius XM NFL radio, but we'll be talking Stanley Cup with him. Well, let's turn it over to the viewers, and then we'll get back to the big board here, the message board here.
From Closed Captioner, he writes me back. He goes, I love the show, and you, Rod, you did trigger me, though, big time. Because I called the Vegas Golden Knights Canada's team?
Or maybe he's a Leafs fan. And the thing...
Hang on. What do you think about anti-disestablishmentarianism?
How about that?
The concept.
That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
What do you got?
That was good. But you gave him too much time to type it out. We just got to fill that space with words. And he's, stop. I'm trying to figure it out. Anybody know how to spell this?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah, crazy. But as a, when you're in mourning or you're a fan and your team just lost, you can't send shots back. You're never going to have the upper hand today. There's nothing you can do. So you have to just sit back and take it.
And
you have to take your medicine and bite your lip. It's the only way to get through.
Clark's been very good at that.
Yeah. You can't clap back. As soon as you clap back, you've lost. So you have to just take it.
Dan, the Jets fan, correctly has written it and says, the longest word in the dictionary. And I learned that, by the way, from my French teacher, Dale Struthers. The word that, I won't do it to you again, closed captioner, but that is the longest word in the English dictionary. And I just rattled it off.
Wow. Impressive.
Steel trap up here. Steal something. From the 204. Hey, RP, not much creativity from the Elky management. Just changed a letter. Elks, Esks, always Eskimos to me. We're going to be talking about this for a long time in sports. The Eskimo thing, probably the Redskins thing. And I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you, but with the people that find the term Eskimos racially insensitive, you do gotta listen to them, So to say that they'll always be Eskimos, you're not saying that to be racist. You're not. It's the tradition that you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But I think the name had to go.
Yeah, and
so you got to find something.
You got to let it go. Right? Yeah. You got to find a way to get over it.
Daryl from Toronto says both elk and elks are plural. Both spellings are correct. Love the logo. Great rebrand. I don't hate it. And I've always, in all my years in the CFL and the wars that the Riders and the Eskimos had, you never heard me say a bad word about that franchise because they treated us just first class. Yeah. Calgary, different story. But Edmonton, you just walk into the stadium, you just feel class, and that's why I felt bad for them that they were in this pinch that they had to change their name. I'm supporting what they're doing now, but I think you would agree, we agree that elk is cooler than elks. And maybe there's a reason why they couldn't do it, and you said it.
Yeah, I mean, just the way you're pronouncing it, it's elks, and you're trying to, it doesn't roll off the tongue like elk does. The Edmonton Elk, the Edmonton Elks. Pronounce it. Eventually, but here's the thing about any team name and logo. Eventually, you're not going to hate it. Eventually, it won't matter. We didn't really like Red Blacks all that much.
Kraken?
Kraken, same thing. We didn't really like Red Blacks. It's just like you're just picking two colors.
I still don't like it.
But you know what?
I still don't like it.
I know, but it doesn't keep you up at night. It doesn't haunt you every time you say it. It's just is what it is. That's just their name. Doesn't mean you like it, but it just is. We'll be so comfortable with Elks, it won't even matter.
Red Blacks look good on Ashton Kutcher in the ranch.
Oh, yeah.
When he wore it.
The saw blade's cool.
From Jeff Kibilis, says, sorry I'm late. Nice shirt, dupes. Best team in the Subway Dub Hub. From Leanne Hajdu, she says, UND changed Fighting Hawks due to racial issues. Their fans continue to call them Fighting Sioux and wear Sioux gear. New merchandise and name is a really tough sell. It is tough. From Knight in the 554. From Wynyard.
Here you go.
Sorry to say, but Matthews continues to do nothing in playoff hockey. He is a season great, not a playoff player.
Not yet. And that's exactly it. Like, either
paid like it.
If you believe in the core, if you think Matthews and if they're your core, then you got to keep this group together and they've got to grow together. And eventually they'll grow to a spot where they're either going to win or you don't believe in that core anymore. And if you don't believe in the core, then you got to get rid of them, unfortunately. So I mean, you look at guys, Steve Yzerman didn't win until he was in his 30s. It takes time for everybody's different. If you believe in them, there is no expiration date on how patient you have to be.
Mitch Marner's the guy that should be explaining himself today.
Absolutely.
More so than anybody. Jack in Alberta says, Rod, don't paint all of us Calgary folks with the same brush. I'm a huge supporter of both Rod Peterson and Stamson Riders. It's just fun rivalry stuff. Come on. Maybe next hour I'll tell you the stories of how they, to use a football term, disrespected us when we went into McMahon Stadium. You have to park your bus over there by the baseball stadium. I mean, a half mile away? Why can't we park? You just do. Or during the game, our kickers are trying to find the kicking nets, and they took them right in the middle of the game. Where's the kicking nets? You know, just stupid little stuff that Edmonton wouldn't do. Anyways, Zig Fracassi next hour is going to be fun. Thanks to Scott Laughlin. We'll see you on Game Plus right after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Stars, you are dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Get your early bird tickets by June 24th for a chance to win a truck, trailer, toys, and cash. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Now,
Here's a little secret with what I do at the Rod Peterson Show, and I've made a career of it. I don't care whether you like me or you don't like me, but when you watch my show, I just want you to feel something.
How about that?
Whether you're happy or you're sad or you're angry or you're proud, I just want you to feel something. Because a lot of times you'll read a column or watch a show and it's, That's never been the hallmark of what I do. I want to make you think. I want to make you feel something. And it's worked. And if you don't agree with me, I'll be fine.
This is the Rod Peterson Show.
I'll say it again. How you now?
I'm good. Sorry. I'm watching this with no sound. So our content creator, Nelson Vo's gone in.
Tell him what's going on.
He's pulled up from May 10th, and he puts the calendar, May 10th. It's graphic. And then Rod talking about, they're going to announce the name June 1st. Probably be the Elks, or the Elk. And then flash forward to today, June 1st, and we've got the announcement. And
yeah, I said I'm going to start charging for this stuff.
Like a fortune teller at the fair. You'll be crystal ball.
Yeah.
Come in, I'll tell you what's happening with your team.
Need to grow a beard. That's the breaking news. If you're just joining us here in hour 2, it is the Edmonton Elks. They announced it this morning, and we're saying bravo to them. We'd rather see Elk. And if we had our druthers, it would be Empire, but this is the best possible thing, and that's the news that's coming out today. And the other thing is just an unbelievably fun back and forth here. So our closed captioner at Game Plus is clearly a Leaf fan, and he says I triggered him by trolling the Leafs a little bit. And here's the thing. All those other networks are just Johnny Toronto, right? All of them. And we kind of get sick of it. In the rest of Canada, you know, there's a whole big country out here besides the Golden Horseshoe. So our show is kind of anti-Toronto, sorry to say. So I tweeted the Mike Babcock laughing thing last night, and it triggered people. What did I say? Angering people is a gift of mine.
It is.
It's a gift. Yeah. And we're going to get to you in a second, Calgary. But anyways, Ryan, can you tell, what is the 705 area code? Can you look at that up, 705? Because the 705 area code is texted us here on the Prairie Mobile text line. It says, personally, as the Game Plus control room resident Habs fan, I slept like a baby last night. Oh, it's Ontario as well? Okay. So again, don't worry about me. You guys, hopefully there's a divider in between them in the Game Plus control room right now, Habs and Leafs. How did you guys not kill each other during that series? So anyways, that's what went down last night. I thought Montreal was going to win. Darren's taking it very well. And Clark's taking it as well as you could expect that he would take it.
Yeah.
As a guy that's been trolling all year and then took one in the pills last night. Who's Brandon George? He writes on YouTube, Rod Peterson Show making me laugh. Ha. Yeah, you're welcome. And regarding Jeff the Stamps fan, says Rod is mad because the Stamps don't let him park up front. Who does he think he is? John Hufnagel? That's not the point. It was the West Final. The whole team rolled up on 3 buses. It was minus 25 if you were there. I'm sure you were. And the parking attendants at McMahon, which incidentally, we've been coming there for decades. They're like, you can't park. You're going to park way over there. And we're like, and walk in this? And then went out and proceeded to kick the Stamps' asses. And I think, was that the game where we had the rider, Looney, at midfield at McMahon Stadium? One of the stadium workers put it under the field. We were in your head all day. 35-13. Great day. Who do I think I am? It wasn't about me. It was about the team. And little things like that, little karma things, they come back to bite you in the ass.
Always.
Yes, they do.
And that's what I look at this. It's funny, this Leafs situation, it's bigger than the team is fine. This is a karma thing from the fan base and everything else. It's a karma thing and it's a curse thing. And you have to believe in that and understand that it's going to take something really holy and magical to get out of it.
Well, they should bring in somebody and have a sacrifice.
Do an exorcism, whatever.
So whatever. There's something wrong in there, and maybe the Oilers can get a 2-for-1 deal with the Leafs because there's something wrong there too.
Oh, yeah. Same deal.
By the way, Mandy in Edmonton, I see you, Mandy.
She's got all kinds of funny things going on here. She says, the elk rutting season starts late August. Watch out, Stamps. I'm a rural guy, but I'm not really a wildlife guy, but I have a feeling that is something sexual that I don't want to talk about.
It is. Yeah. Rutting season, they're violent.
Really?
Watch out for the elk when it's rutting season.
Okay. How do you know that?
You're
from the chicken capital.
Keep your antennas up. Yeah, well. Chickens too. No, I don't know.
How about that?
How about that? So that's it. It's the Edmonton Elks as of today. My mind is running around in a million different places here. Hey! Faye Lowther's watching. She says, I can't wait to see Brett Lowther kicking again. He is awesome. Faye Lowther, Truro, Nova Scotia. Truro Strong checking in today. Watching the RP show. We are literally coast to coast here and around the continent. Rachel, the intern's watching, eh? She just can't miss a trip. She just can't miss a trip. She says, I mean, the Leafs didn't do any better under Babcock. I don't think coaching's to blame with this loss. Do we want to go into the Robin Lehner stuff? Because Brady Leovold had asked about that earlier. He's like, was game one Robin Lehner's fault? And we're going to talk about the Vegas Golden Knights here right now, who, by the way, have the night off. Game 2 goes Wednesday. I had a scouting report here I was going to read to you guys about the game. Here's the thing about Lehner. No, it wasn't his fault. The whole team was bad. I think we covered this yesterday. You don't have to have played sports at a high level or been around sports, I don't think, at a high level to realize what happened with Vegas. They came off the emotional Minnesota series, and I'm not using fatigue for mental, physical, or emotional at all. But they got into a new series against a better team, and it was just, whoa, they had their socks knocked off. It happens. And for those that say they can't touch McKinnon, they can't touch him, yes, they can. Winnipeg did it against Connor McDavid. There's a way, and Peter DeBoer will find it because Vegas is that good. I'm not saying they're going to come back and win the series, but what I'm saying is they're going to come back in the series. The series is not over. And with Lehner, I didn't want to play him either. Okay? But they want to use 2 goalies. Flower is older. He played every minute in the past. You had to, if you feel you need to play 2 goalies, you had to start Robin Lehner in game 1. And those of us that watch the Golden Knights every game had a feeling where it was going to go. Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't let in the goals. He doesn't. In that first period that Lehner did. So was it his fault? He didn't give him a chance. And when they were down 2-0, the whole team unraveled. Anyways, that's my take. And I know you don't care as much about the Golden Knights as I do, but
I do. And I agree. And I think I knew, and we all kind of thought Lehner would play game 1 and with the effort of giving Marc-Andre Fleury a break. And when they went to Marc-Andre Fleury in game 7, they kind of said, you're our guy. You're the guy. We believe in you. We trust you. You've played well. Yeah. He had a great series against Minnesota. He was phenomenal. And so Lehner gets the start. He gets a rest, and they'll manage that. But it's with anything, like a team, when you're just riding up here and it's, game 6, game 7, it's do or die, and you're at this high level, you're playing really well and you're really focused. And then when you get to a game 1 and it's, okay, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. And even if you pull back just a little bit with that kind of safety net, wham, you take one in the chin. It's really easy to let it get away from you when you're not playing at that same level, when you can relax a little bit. And so now they'll refocus and understand we better step up here, and these losses matter, and away you go. It'll be a new series. It's like starting a series down a game. They'll be fine.
They will be fine.
Yeah.
I see from our viewers, they love the talk. Jason in Red Deer says a few of the goals were absolutely on Lehner, but the loss overall was a team loss. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Thank you, Jason, by the way, for the gear. This is from the Puck and Pigskin podcast. Treats for the boys.
I love it.
A couple of bunny hugs, actually. And another one, the Puck and Pigskin podcast. He's doing very well on that, by the way, in terms of followers and stuff that he's doing. From Alex Nuttall on YouTube, absolutely not Leonard's fault. Nobody played well, but I disagree with a goalie change in game 1 of a new series. Fleury had been playing great, so why change it up then? Oh, I know. I know. I thought I said I didn't want to talk about this. But last year in the playoffs, I have no idea how they decided who they were going to start Vegas all year in the bubble in Edmonton. It was like throw a dart. That's what it felt like to me. From Jen, she says, the rest for the Jets may help or hinder. Even though they knocked out my oil, I can still cheer for them. Now, that's a fan.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you're the Winnipeg Jets, you would take the rest. Look what happened to Vegas. They were coming off a Game 7 series, and they got rolled in Game 1. I think you want the rest, right?
I think you do, too. You want the rest. It's a 7-game series, and that's, you take even a loss in game 1 because you just went 7 games, and kind of the payment for going 7 games is you're probably going to take one on the chin in game 1. So let's protect Marc-Andre Fleury. Let's start Robin Leonard. Let's understand what this is going to be like. Third period comes in. We want to set a physical tone. We let that series go 7 games with Minnesota, so it probably means we're losing the first game with Colorado. And I think they're okay with that. They're in the second round. I think they'll take that, and now they'll see if they can come back.
Somebody had written in here about shutting down McKinnon. I know. Oh, Jeff in Winnipeg, Jeff Cabilla says they can. They'll figure out some way to stop or reduce McKinnon. I'd be okay with just reducing Nathan McKinnon. You're never going to stop him. I don't care who you are. From the Puck and... Oh, we haven't done the poll yet? Okay. From the Puck and Pigskin podcast, you are absolutely welcome, guys. Wear it around town and spread the love. I will, and I'm sending you some gear. I am. Darren found out the hard way, sending mugs in the mail. We found that out the hard way.
It can be tough.
They show up
sometimes
as jigsaw puzzles.
But now I don't ship them. Now we've got somebody else who does that the right way.
From Georgie and Nitsos, by the way, the owner and proprietor of the Four Seasons Sports Palace, who said in the Game 6 loss for the Leafs at Montreal, he said he's the first sports bar owner in the history of sports bars to kick himself out of his establishment.
How about
that's how upset he was.
Oh.
Great show, buddy. The sun came up, says George. Happy first of a new month. One that sees more restrictions lifted in our great province. As for my belief, Riders, Vikings, as Darren says, it certainly teaches you patience. That from the Greek freak over at the Four Seasons. And the poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center today. Oh, yeah, it had nothing to do with any of this. You saw Naomi Osaka pulling herself from the French Open because of mental health concerns. That's, completely not pandemic related at all. But when I say the pandemic is bringing the worst out in people, this is bringing the stupidity out in people. Our poll question, should athletes be required to speak to the media? 59% of you saying no. 59% on Facebook saying no, athletes should not be required to speak to the media. And on Twitter, 53% saying no, they should not be required. And why I say it's bringing out the worst in people, it's kind of like that doctor from Edmonton that told me, Rod, STFU, when it comes, like, you don't know what you're talking about with coronavirus, so shut up. And I'm like, you're probably right, but I'm the one with the show. On the mental health thing, because I am a mental health professional, that's where I spend the rest of my time outside of here. People are just saying horrible things about Naomi Osaka. She's just doing what's best for her. That's it. And that's all from the start is what she said. She apologized yesterday and said, I'm sorry that I caused all this. I can't deal with the media. And now I'm going to pull out of the entire event.
Yeah.
She's struggling. And I don't know how much you've watched this, but the stuff that's being said about her is unconscionable. Do I think that athletes should speak to the media? No. Especially not right after games. But I know what they're thinking in most cases. I really do. I don't need to hear from them because I know. So I would vote no, they don't have to. And that would sound a little weird from a career media guy, right?
Yeah and no, because you're also a career hockey guy and a sports guy. You're not just a media guy. right? You're actually a hockey guy. So it's not like you came through just in the media phase. You came through the game, even as a kid. So I get it, and you do know what they're thinking. So, but I don't know that applies to everybody. And I think they should speak to the media. Although I applaud Naomi for, understanding what she needs to do to take care of herself. So that's cool. I support that 1,000%. But when it comes to building a brand and building the sport, we need to see the players. We need to see the coaches. We need to hear from them. That's what brings the attachment. That's what sells tickets. Without all of that, we really don't have sports. Like, just watching the games is not enough. You need to have a reason to watch the games. And that's when you see these guys, you hear them, you get to know them. That stuff matters.
Carrie Shellstead, watching in Alberta, says the captains should speak to the media. And maybe that's that. I mean, I'll give Connor McDavid a lot of credit. He is always facing the music. He's always there.
Oh, yeah.
And you can tell he doesn't want to be there. It's written all over his face. I mean, there's some guys that do like to speak to the media and girls, and some that don't. And maybe that's where it should be left in the locker room. I don't know. I mean, you should talk to a PR person about that more than anything. Or, as I always say, get the message through me. Tell me and I'll tell the people. But I know you want to hear from the athletes. Maybe 20 years ago, I would have said I wanted to hear from the athletes. But now I just know how gut-wringing it is for them. And the most horrible part of my past job, because it was a great job, but one bad part was that live interview after games, particularly after losses. My God, I could tell you stories of coaches that didn't want to do the interview. We knew they didn't want to do they just got their ass kicked. And you got to speak to 1 million people in the Rider Nation, explain how you got your ass kicked. Their mind's in a state of trauma. Well, coach, what'd you think about the game? Why are you asking that? But what? There's no good question in an environment
There's
like
not,
that.
but that's almost the interviews we need the most, because when
you can do it.
When you put, I know, and I've been in that situation, and it sucks. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to ask him. I don't want to trigger him. You're just like barely hanging onto the mic. It's such a delicate situation, but we need those, because when it's so bad and it's raw, that's the bottom, and that makes the winning feel that much better. We need to have the ups and the downs. We just want to sit up high and enjoy success and never have to have failure and never want to deal with these tough situations. If we don't deal with them, then the winning doesn't feel any good. Very good.
Hey, the BC Lions are tweeting at us. Hey-o! Can't wait to see them on the field. Alex Nuttall watching on YouTube. Torts after every single game. See, Torts he's too far the other way. We'll talk with Zig Fracassi about that and NFL and Bruins when we come back. You're watching the RP Show. This has been the second half kickoff for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, and you're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Hey, welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. We got a hot day going on episode number 496 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. And thanks again, guys, for playing my favorite music. Thank you a lot. I mean it. It's so catchy. The Edmonton Elks. It's a thing. As of today, the newest team in the Canadian Football League. Edmonton Eskimos no more. It's the Edmonton Elks. And that's, we won't start there with Zig Fracassi as we bring him in from Sirius XM NFL Radio in Manhattan, but we'll get around to it. Well, he's home today, I see. Hey, Ziggy, you continue to be at home, huh?
Well, I am in the studios 3 days a week, Rod. And then the other 2, I am at home. So how you doing, my friend?
100%, my man. It's not Vegas Golden Knights game day, but we're getting there. You must have a spot in your heart for the Golden Knights, Ziggy, from the time you spent in Sin City, I would think.
I do. I actually kind of adopted them as a team, Rod. And, I lived there from 1985 to 2001. So, everyone thought that Vegas wasn't a great hockey market. But actually, the Thunder were out there. You remember them, of course, Alexei Yashin, Clint Malarchuk, Patrice Lefebvre. A bunch of guys came through there, and they would get probably 5,000 or 6,000 fans a game there at the Thomas and Mack Center. And then I think the Wranglers came maybe after I left. And then when, people laughed at Oscar Goodman, the mayor of Vegas at the time, when he broached Gary Bettman saying, hey, Vegas could be an NHL market. And fast forward to 2017-18, and the first 4 years of their existence, Rod, consistent sellouts, of course, before pandemic, of course, but still a great hockey town, and I think it's got a chance to grow even further, although I think they're up against the outstanding Avalanche team in this series.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Game 1 wasn't that much fun, but the series is going to be fun. It's unreal that anybody would say what a great hockey town Vegas is unless you went and saw it, and it is an unreal hockey town. But you never really accepted my bet, I don't think, on the Bruins Islanders, which is dinner at Del Frisco's. Did you say we're in on that or what?
I thought I gave you the thumbs up. Yeah, so if you win, you can get the early bird, and I win, I get anything I want. So yeah, we could do that. Next time you're in New York, we'll definitely do Del Frisco's because it's right in my building.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Darren, you would love steakhouse in the basement of the Sirius XM. Well, not basement, main floor. Sorry. So the Islanders won in overtime last night. You saw it. Cizikas with the winner, Zig. Would have been something for the Bruins to go up 2-0. This looks like it's going to be a long series.
Yeah, I believe so. And give the Islanders some credit. I mean, they were the opportunistic team last night. Now, granted, of the goals, the first one goes in off Lozon, who later became villain number one, that ill-advised cross pass in the overtime to set up Cizikas' breakaway. Some concerning things, though. Second period, I thought, was not very good. Tuukka Rask at times looked like he was fighting it, and now they're saying that there's some lingering injuries, so you got to wonder if his back is acted up again. But again, the Islanders took it to him in the second periods. I thought the Bruins were the better team in the first and the third. Islanders better in the overtime, so they deserve a lot of credit. Barry Trotz has them playing well. Now it's a best of 5, and it wouldn't shock me if this ultimately goes 7.
Hey, buddy, what do you think Charo's going to do? Somebody sent me a tweet from Charo's last game with the Caps talking about, is he done? He's not ever going to be back in Boston, I don't think, but you must be a Chara fan. Do you think he's got some tread left on the tire?
Boy, at this point, Rod, well, I disagree slightly. I think he will be back in Boston at some point, but not as a player. No, I think if Bruce Cassidy, if those guys are smart, Don Sweeney, Cam Neely, I think they bring him in after he's done playing as some sort of, mentor, advisor, maybe, coach the defense if he wanted to do that, say down in Providence, or be some kind of an advisor. I think he's a Bruin through and through. But to answer your question, I think this past year, Rod, even though it wasn't terribly far from Boston to Washington, you heard some things about this being a tough year in the sense of not on the ice, because I thought he was still pretty good, but in the sense of being away from his wife, his kids. There's got to get to a point where, he is 44 years old. What more do you truly need to accomplish? So I just think from more of a family and rest of his life standpoint, it probably wouldn't surprise me if Chara did walk away. Because I don't know if, like, say, for example, if a team out west went looking for him, that would really put some stress on the family if they were not to move from Boston. So that's why I think I would lean towards him probably retiring.
I gotcha. Craig Smith's watching, our director of scouting, 2 decades in the Canadian Football League. He says, Zig Fracassi, that calming voice I would hear on Sirius when I was driving that lonely highway to the next football assignment, much like listening to Peterson and Carteri or Peterson and Mullender. Smitty, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And I love Ziggy's voice too. He's chosen the right profession.
And by the way, we need the other Craig Smith to play. He was out in game 2. So for that Craig Smith, we need him back on the ice for the Bruins.
He is a big factor. Absolutely. There's no doubt. Nashville did okay without him now, but no, Smith is amazing. To the National Football League, my friend, and the Aaron Rodgers saga seems to just be turning on a daily basis, but ever so slowly. Are you tired of the story? What's your take on Aaron Rodgers in the pack?
Yeah, I mean, after a while, it's a little bit numbing. I mean, although we are now in June, so it'll be interesting to see. Maybe we'll get some more momentum in terms of the actual training camp news. Now, of course, June 1st is a big day around the NFL because after today, Rod, you could either cut some guys and get cap relief, or in the case of a Julio Jones, if Atlanta were to trade him, they could spread out his money over a couple of years on their salary cap. But back to Rodgers, again, I've heard all the interviews, heard all the speculation, and when Aaron was on with Kenny Mayne, he made it quite clear that it wasn't the draft pick of Jordan Love. Says he liked the kid a lot, or even loved the guy, loved his teammates, loved the fans, loved the coaches, which was eye-opening because, the media was making up that row between him and Matt LaFleur, which apparently never existed. So if you read between the tea leaves, Rod, there's an issue there with Coos, the GM, and also the president, Mark Murphy, who's had a long, distinguished career as a player and an executive in the National Football League. So that seems to be where the problem therein lies. So if they were to trade him, I think it would have been done by now. does Aaron pull a power play and sit out? And I've heard it even suggested that he comes back, sits the first 10 games, Rod, comes back for the next 6 to get a vested season in the NFL. That wouldn't surprise me, but Green Bay's got to get this thing resolved before too long, because they got to find out, how long is Rodgers in for the interim, and when can they go to Jordan Love when he ultimately does become the quarterback, if he becomes the quarterback.
Yeah, well, I knew that you'd be on top of it. Producer Clark said this is the latest. Rodgers won't be traded, so they're going to have to find a way. I'm going to go a little off the board with my next one, Zig. And with this new television deal, everybody sees the money in the NFL. And what I see is the pressure. The money may go up, but the pressure goes up. You thought there was pressure before. You know what I'm saying? With more money, more pressure. That's how it goes. And my example of that is Trevor Lawrence, when they came out of this mini camp, whatever they called it here, this most recent thing. Headline in the Jacksonville paper, Lawrence not perfect in red zone. And I'm like, what did you think he was going to be? Like, you're probably throwing 7-on-7. He's a rookie. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't think people think about the pressure a kid like that is under, or Zach Wilson, or Trey Lance, or any of those first-round guys.
Yeah, and it's going to take some time. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was outstanding at Clemson. I mean, the kid's not used to losing, Rod. He's been basically practically unbeaten, although there are a couple losses there at Clemson. But the point is, he may wind up losing more games in the first month of the season than he ever did in high school and college. So that's going to be worth a concern, and again, what's the trajectory and what's the realistic expectation in terms of these particular markets? Again, I'm looking for Lawrence to start day one. I'm thinking Zach Wilson will ultimately start day one for the Jets. And if I'm a fan base, if I'm the media, I got to look at, all right, there's going to be growing pains. He's going to look bad, probably more than he does look good. But I think if I see tangible proof that, they're competitive in each game. So say if Jacksonville wound up, 5-11, 6-10, but they were more improved and they were competitive in every game, to me, that's a sign of trajectory that he's going to be a good quarterback going forward. So the pressure is definitely there, but I think the expectations need to be tempered somewhat, because Jacksonville and New York Jets, those are two teams. They're not one of those, Rod, where I think you snap a finger and you add a few free agents and bring in that rookie franchise quarterback, and all of a sudden things are going to get better. They have to have a plan. And I think both those organizations actually do have a plan.
Speaking of that, you could use one of those two teams to answer this question, or another one. What team do you think makes a big step in 2021 in the National Football League? Like a non-playoff team that gets in the playoffs?
That star on their helmet, Rod. And I know you had my boy Scotty Laughlin on the last hour. And we were worried that this would be too much Cowboys love over here, but they're the one. If Dak comes back, and obviously things are trending in that direction, that offensive line, which was totally banged up last year, I think a rededicated Zeke Elliott, because last year he had the issues with the fumbles. So you've got those factors, and if they play any semblance of defense this year, and say what you want about Dan Quinn and some of the gaffes that he's had, but he's also been a very good defensive coordinator, and they've reshuffled that personnel there, Rod. If they get any semblance of defense, I think they're back in the hunt, if not winning the NFC East.
Of course. I was thinking that you would say America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. And Zig, what do you put on coaching, like a premium on coaching? Mike Nolan never gave them a chance last year. And some dumb play calling by Mike McCarthy too. But I think just a change of a defensive coordinator is going to mean potentially 3 more wins, at least. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, I got to be honest, Rod. Mike's a good friend of mine, so I got to, I cringe, but I also know that what I say is that I think they probably tried to do too much in terms of changing now. As the year wore on, they actually started to create turnovers and make plays, but I think by then it was just seemingly a lost cause. So unfortunately, Mike Nolan paid dearly for that. although he is an accomplished football guy. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Dan Quinn ideally does more of what the Cowboys did before last year instead of, basically the 4-3 setup and that kind of thing with their coverages on in the back line and everything like that. So I think it'll be a return, but you've also got some new faces. And you also need guys like DeMarcus Lawrence to step up because he was kind of a lost cause last year. Jalen Smith looked way out of place in that defensive setup, so you're hoping that a return to some familiarity helps him out. And that their draft picks, they went heavy. Was it first 6 picks, franchise history on defensive players? So if they're able to assimilate all of that in, Diggs continues to step up as a shutdown corner. That's where I think they'll be better on that side of the ball. And I agree, coaching does mean a lot.
So much. Ryan McCarthy watching in Saratoga, New York says, Zig is right. I'm a Jets fan, and most of us agree that this is going to be a multi-year build by Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh. Am I saying it right? Saleh?
Saleh,
sorry. And Darnell Ferris from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions says, Eagles. In 60 seconds, Zig, what's going to happen with the Birds?
Hopefully they don't fly the coop. Ooh, that's a bad attempt. No, Hurts definitely has to step up. That is a no-brainer there. You got to have your first-round pick. Smith obviously contribute right away. They've got to have, like the Cowboys. The Eagles had major attrition on the offensive line last year. I think the Kerrigan addition helps them defensively. If all those things come into place, this could be a 4-horse race in the NFC East this year. So maybe the Eagles get things turned around because it's been a pretty strict and downward slope since their Super Bowl appearance here. They got to get things right under the new coach Sirianni.
A fast, steep drop-off decline. You're right. Zig, thanks. As always, I look forward to you buying me supper at Del Frisco's, my man. Enjoy the hockey, and we'll be listening.
There you go. I'll start saving my pennies now, Rod.
I got you. You probably got some coupons. Zig Fracassi from Sirius XM NFL Radio joining us from New York. We'll take a time out, get to a sports update. I got some great stories, by the way, from that visit. I think people want to hear them. Last time that I was down there visiting Zig. It's the RP Show you're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash. Your car deserves it at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself. I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, was the most important thing in my life.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
We back. I'm just updating the sports update because we got breaking news today. It's a few hours old, but Moose is back, by the way. How you doing, Moose?
I'm good.
Maybe it should have been the Edmonton Moose. Guess it's too late.
Yeah, too late now.
As we delve headfirst into the sports update here, the Edmonton CFL franchise has changed its name to Elks. The club made the announcement via live stream this morning. There's the logo. There's the name if you're watching. Edmonton dropped its longtime name Eskimos last year following a similar decision by the NFL's Washington team amid pressure on franchises to eliminate racist or stereotypical names. Breaking news from the CEBL. Charles Cook III, a former NBA G League guard with 16 games of NBA experience with the New Orleans Pelicans and Miami Heat, has signed a contract with the Hamilton Honey Badgers for the 2021 CEBL season. The team announced this morning. The 6'5" guard from Trenton, New Jersey, split his last season between San German of the BSN and Treviso in the Liga Basket Series A, Italy's top professional league. Speaking of the CEBL, which tips off later this month, have you had a chance to catch any of the documentary Our Game on CBC?
Not yet, but it's on my list.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Oh, amazing.
It's very good. It's very good. I was watching some of it the other night waiting for the hockey game. Had it on CBC, and I'm like, hey, this doesn't suck. It was pretty good.
I bet.
It was a documentary on the bubble last year in St. Catharines for the CEBL.
Cool.
The Toronto Blue Jays will be calling Buffalo, New York home for the second time starting tonight. Lefty Robbie Ray is scheduled to start for Toronto at Salin Field against the Marlins. The Jays started their season playing home games in Dunedin, of course. The Brooklyn Nets look to clinch their Eastern Conference first-round series against the visiting Boston Celtics tonight in Game 5. The Nets won Game 4, 141-126 to go up 3-1 thanks to Kevin Durant's 42 points. Also tonight, Denver hosts Portland, and the Lakers welcome Phoenix. Both games tied 2-2, and I just think that Lakers-Suns series is pretty damn exciting. They all are, but that's probably the one that I'm most interested in. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors. My favorite is the almond coconut. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. I feel like we could just turn it over to the viewers, Darren, the rest of the way here. They got really excited and are still excited over in Winnipeg. I guess that starts tomorrow night, hey?
Yeah.
No rest for the wicked, as they say.
Right away. And in that situation, I think Montreal will absolutely turn to Jake Allen in Game 1. You know, Carey Price on top of the world. He's Carey Price. He's your guy. You're not winning series without him, but I could see they'll go to Jake Allen in Game 1, give him a rest, and make sure that he's ready to go for the series. That's the price you pay of going a deep, long 7-game series. You got to give him a night off. I could see it.
Poll question today is, should athletes be forced to speak to the media? I'm not sure if that's the exact wording of it, but that's the idea. And just over 50% on Facebook and Twitter saying no, they should not be forced to speak to the media. Joe Lazito, watching in New York, says, regarding athletes speaking to the media, Scott Norwood missed a Super Bowl winning field goal on the biggest stage and sat at his locker and answered every question from every reporter. In my opinion, it's part of the gig. Yes, but you know what Naomi Osaka's saying is? The stupid questions are what's rotting her mental health. Can we look at it from that perspective? Can we tell the media to not be idiots and think about the way that the question is going to be perceived? Oh, you just missed a field goal to win the Super Bowl. How's it feel? How do you think it feels, dummy?
How about that?
That's where the athletes and coaches are coming from.
I agree. And it's almost like we shouldn't get into those questions. We should just let the player just come in and it should be standard, react to the game. Disappointed, obviously, and take those questions out because,
can't fix stupid.
You can't fix stupid. So let them answer that off the hop.
Well,
but it's important to do media. It's really important.
Matthew Kennedy, watching on Facebook, says, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah, the infamous Marshawn Lynch comment of Super Bowl, which I bristled at, and now he's got a YouTube channel. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? He didn't want to speak to the media, but now he has his own show.
Right.
Yeah, that part, that annoys me. I'm trying to find a comment here. It was a nice one came in from Dale Barazuk. He says, you guys are still kicking ass. Son and I listen every day. Elks, awesome. Good on Edmonton. Stuff changes for a reason, and we all should appreciate that. History goes both ways. The sport isn't defined by the name. I love watching Edmonton when I'm there. An amazing experience. I'm blue and gold. Elks will be as first class as they always have been. Vegas is fine. Jets in 6. Enjoy the week. That kind of sounded like Trent from Norway, wasn't it?
Yeah. It really did. I was kind of getting confused.
Theo Tutkaluk from Amateur Sports TV watching in Winnipeg says, Carey Price is out of mojo juice. Go, Jets, go. I wouldn't be betting against Carey. Not at all. CP31.
Nope.
He didn't need to hit God mode last night. He didn't need to. I'm looking at the shots all game going, Montreal, they're seriously outshooting the Leafs all game. There was no point where the Leafs led in that category. How does it make you feel, Darren, in 60 seconds or less that your team has no heart? How's it feel?
Not surprised. It's been that same way. That's the only thing that needs to change. You're not changing pieces in and out. Like, Jordan will appreciate, a race car reference. You can't just buy a new car and just, that's going to make me win. Get your elbows dirty, clean out the carburetor you have, and just, work at it. You have the tools. Sometimes it's what's inside of you that makes the difference. The Leafs, unfortunately, they don't have it. They better work their bags off to find it.
Can you say that?
I did.
Of course you can. Of course you can. Hey, full-on viewer takeover when we come back in overtime. Great comments coming in that we need to address. You are watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And Moose is here too. We got a lot of time left here for overtime. That means you've got time wherever you're watching, specifically on Game Plus television across all 10 provinces and live in 31 states across the USA. Text us. That number on the screen right there, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. We marveled after the show yesterday how much you people enjoyed the talk about Hockey Night in Canada and NHL on NBC and NBA on TNT, just that media talk. I'm always fascinated why people would care, but I think we kind of came into the realization that we watch it every night. They're in our homes, right? We feel like we know these people.
Yeah.
And now here's the latest on the media. I was talking about, our poll question, should athletes be forced to speak to the media? And just over 50% of you are saying no. Like just over 50% of you are saying no, they shouldn't be forced to. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, I answered yes to the poll question because I thought it was their duty, but now I see your point, Rod. That's what I'm here for. You like that? He's bubbled out laughing. Costa Americas, by the way, live studio audience. From Glenn Erickson, longtime media guys watching in Medicine Hat, hockey guy to the bone. He says, what would the repercussions be for media folks who ask those stupid questions? And he says, I think I've probably been that guy a time or two. It is just an unbelievable relationship, the teams and the media, man. That people have absolutely no idea that what goes on. They have no clue what those relationships are like. You ask a stupid question, you're gone. Well, who says it's stupid? We do. You know, and that, like back and forth.
Who gets to decide?
Who gets to decide what's a stupid question or not?
Yeah.
And literally, like the most basic question. What happened out there, Coach? Why would you ask that? What do you want me to ask? As I was saying, that was the most horrible part of my job was those live interviews after a loss for the Rough Riders. You don't know what to ask. And so that's why I say they shouldn't have to do the interviews, because then I wouldn't have to interview them And Bob's your uncle.
The key, and I learned this, is you got to get to that coach on the sideline well before the live interview. You got to get there a couple minutes before. And that's where you ask him the questions before you get on air. I'll always go to a coach, put a hand on his back, be like, when he's getting blown out at the half, and I'll be like, how was that? How was that? Right? And if he doesn't give me much, and he's like, I don't really, then I'm not asking him that on the air. But if he's like, we're not so bad. We're okay. This is fine. We're okay at half here. We'll be okay. A couple mistakes. Now I know. Perfect. That's a great question. I can ask him that on the air. Right? But you go in cold and you're just tiptoeing around. You're like, so now that's this, but you didn't play that well. And then you're just like.
If I was an athlete, I wouldn't speak to the media. I would just go to Twitter for everything. Tiger Woods basically does that. Mm-hmm. You want to know what I think? Go look at my Twitter feed or go to my Facebook, whatever. Go to my Instagram story. Athletes really only use that to announce their retirements, if you've noticed, right? That long post.
That's right.
From Brandon George watching on YouTube says, Rod should invest into an NHL team in Saskatchewan. No thanks. I've said that forever. I like to travel to my NHL games, specifically Las Vegas, home of Canada's team. And I said that a long time ago when they were just putting the shovel in the ground. I'm like, this is going to be my team because I can fly there on a direct flight. I can fly there faster than it takes to drive to Winnipeg, Calgary, or Edmonton. I'll fly to Vegas, get off the plane in my shorts. I can walk to the rink, and the team's going to be good. I don't want a team in Saskatchewan. Although I was telling somebody the other day, it was one of those podcasts I was on, I think the one in Columbus, where the guy was like, how was the Heritage Classic, man? You had it in your backyard. I said it was amazing. And I personally thank Gary Bettman. Remember when I hugged him?
Yeah.
I said, Gary, thanks for coming to Saskatchewan. And he was like, Rod, why did you guys love it so much? And I said, because for 100 years, we've had to go to you. For the first time, the NHL's come to us. Once was good. I'm over it.
That's enough.
I don't need a team here.
That's enough. When you're
road trips are fun.
I know when you're putting roots down, you're committing. And if you got the money, like if I had the money for an NHL team, like if I had the money, I want a yacht, okay, and a pro team. But you can't be landlocked and want you got to be somewhere near that. So yeah, I get it. You want to be out of here.
I'm okay with Vegas.
You want to travel.
Yeah. I don't need to be driving 41 times in the winter to watch my team play. Not interested. Brandon George, I think, has just discovered us on YouTube. He says, this guy is funny. He's making me laugh. I think he's talking about you.
Sure. You're welcome.
From Todd Pinckney, he says, Carey Price is the best player in NHL history to win a playoff series with a salary of more than $10 million average annual value. Money doesn't matter now. It's out the window in the playoffs. Unless, well, ask Mitch Marner. Aaron Beach, watching on Facebook, says, gentlemen, as a hunter, I have only ever heard elk called elk. Never elks. Technically, both elk and elks are correct, but if you're going for an animal, I would think you would call it what the outdoors people call it. What do you guys think? I think I want empire. That's what I think. How about that? I don't care. But I do think the marketing avenues off this are amazing. Their souvenir store is going to look like a Cabela's. Right?
Oh, yeah.
What's so funny over there, Cuz? Making you laugh.
What's a baby cow? Or is it a cow?
An elk?
A baby elk?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what they'll call all the rookies. They won't be rookies. They'll be cows.
John Lynch has this premonition of them trailering a bunch of elks to the stadium for some promotion and them getting out during running season and them attacking everybody. John Lynch has...
People are running for the exits. They're barking
it's
at
a movie.
At the
it's
stands.
Like Jaws, but the Canadian version because it's with elk.
You and your brothers will come in and rope.
Oh, yeah, can you imagine? Oh, would they love it? You would love that.
Be like City Slickers.
Would love... Well, speaking of Cabela's. It hasn't even been a day and we're talking about elk hunting. Okay, tomorrow, Rich Sutter. Who else you got? Dave Campbell, the Elks color commentator. Tomorrow, noon Eastern and 10 Mountain, right here on Game Plus. Angering people is a gift of mine.